Today we're going to inlay grout into wood. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. So I've recently discovered that grout, often used for tiles and kitchens and bathrooms, actually inlays into wood really well. So here's a series of experiments I conducted using both conventional power tools and some CNCs. But first, the conventional. I set the blade on my circular saw so that it would only cut about 1/8 of an inch deep. I then used a straight edge and a clamp to cut a series of diagonal lines across a piece of tropical hardwood. I liked the idea that there would be some triangles of white grout at the intersections of all the lines, so I just used a chisel to remove little pieces of the wood. Now, angled geometric lines are having a bit of a moment right now, but if you're more into orthogonal or rectilinear designs, you could also use a table saw to cut the grooves. A Forstner bit is a great way to drill a flat bottom shallow circle if you want some polka dots. I also experimented making designs in the Easel web app from Inventables. This is a free app, it's easy to use, and I just made a bunch of circles and then copied them until I had a cool design. I then loaded a piece of birch into my X-Carve CNC machine and engraved the design with an 1/8 inch diameter bit. If you want to learn more about Easel and CNC machines, be sure to check out the Inventables Power Hour. I'll put a link in the description box below. I did a little bit of light sanding and then started the process of installing the Fusion Pro grout in bright white. I applied some grout with a putty knife and then used a rubber semi-soft float to kind of push it all the way in to the grooves. I used a damp sponge to remove the excess and then a microfiber towel to remove any additional haze that was left over. I found that it helps to slightly dampen the wood before applying the grout. This is the easiest with designs that don't reach the edges of the board, but it's still not that hard even if the grooves extend to the edges. Alright, so that was fun and easy, but let's take it up a notch and create a more complex pattern. When I'm making patterns, I like to do them in Illustrator first and then export to Easel. I just drew a bunch of lines, connected them, and then copied these shapes until I had a cool pattern. I then saved the design as an SVG file and imported it right into Easel. Once again, I CNC'd a birch board with an 1/8 inch bit, and then tried a piece of Kumaru with a 1/16 of an inch diameter bit. In all cases, both with the CNC'd pattern and the patterns I created with conventional power tools, really easy to apply the grout. Now for this board, I didn't quite clean all of the sawdust off well enough, and so as you notice, the grout came out just a little bit pinkish as it mixed with the sawdust. Cleaning the wood with acetone would have prevented this. This is probably my favorite design. It was done with a 1/16 of an inch diameter bit on a piece of birch. Hi, Ben here. I'm going to tell you about Squarespace, the sponsor for this video. Create a beautiful website with Squarespace's all-in-one platform. There's nothing to upgrade, download, or patch ever. My favorite thing about Squarespace is that they have really well-designed templates. Templates give you a head start on creating your own website because you already have the structure. You just need to plug in your content similarly to how you would upload content to social media, and there you have a super professional, slick-looking website. In the spirit of sharing templates, I'm actually going to make the files that I use for these designs available online as well. We use Squarespace to create the website for my podcast, the Modern Maker Podcast. Did you guys know I have a podcast? If not, go listen to it. We chose Squarespace because it's easy to use, which is important for getting started, but it's also very powerful. We have aspirations of selling products online, and we want to make sure that we have a website that we can add e-commerce functionality to. So basically, we can quickly and efficiently create a powerful online store. So go to squarespace.com/homemade and use the offer code HOMEMADE to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. All right, back to the project. I let the grout cure for a full week before sanding it to 220 grit. The sandpaper didn't actually hit the grout at all because when you use the sponge to kind of clean off the excess, it leaves the grout slightly lower than the surface of the wood. Even though I had a lot of excess grout and moisture smeared all over the wood, I was really pleased to see that that all sanded right off and the wood was pretty pristine. I experimented with a lot of different finishes. I tried polyacrylic, Minwax Wipe on Poly, Danish oil, and teak oil. They all worked fairly well, but the Minwax Wipe on Poly is my personal favorite. The oil finishes just ever so slightly darkened the grout just a hair. I was really pleased to see how strong this grout is. Not a single piece got dislodged or cracked during the whole sanding and finishing process. And that kind of makes sense because grout is meant to go in between really hard, unforgiving tile that gets walked on, so it makes sense that it could stand up to a more flexible material like wood. I am so excited about this technique. I really am seeing unlimited applications from drawer fronts to tabletops or even art pieces. Let me know how you would use this technique in the description box below. For additional information and other projects, check out my website. And if you want to see what we're working on next, be sure to follow us on Instagram. And don't forget to check out Squarespace. There's a link in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and thanks for watching. Bye.